Hello everyone, it's Susan here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be working on a page in my junk journal and I've decided to do a voiceover for this video, which I have not done in a long time. So I'm just going to speed it up a little bit and I'll talk you through what I am doing. As I look through here, I end up pulling out a page that is tea dyed. It's just a piece of printer paper, and I like that it's so neutral. So I'm going to work on that today. And what I've decided to do was, you'll see in a second, right here are some digitals from Shabby Dabbydoodah. And I have this tag, which I think is Tim Holtz, and then some ribbon that I've had for 12 years. And I know it's 12 years because I got it when my granddaughter was born. Or a few months after. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk through this. I'll explain everything as I go through. And I just really want to kind of just relax and chat with you guys. So if I end up gabbing a lot, that would be why. So in typical, mixed media style, I've been saving envelopes from in the mail. It's basically junk mail, right? So I picked out a fairly large envelope and I folded up the bottom about a third of the size of the envelope. And this paper right here, let me tell you about this paper. So this is K & Company. It's the Ancestry.com paper. I have the big 12 by 12 paper in this as well. It is from 2011, and I love it. And so I figured, well, this would be really, really good to use. And then I realized, well, I couldn't do it vertically because it wasn't wide enough for the envelope. So I went from wanting to use that greenish teal color paper to I ended up using this brown because I could put it horizontally as opposed to having to keep it vertically. Yeah, so I'm just going to be using my glue stick to get almost everything down on here. That glue stick is just the school glue. It's washable, which is good for me because I make a mess. But I could not get this piece of paper on here. I just couldn't. I don't know what it was. I pulled it up, I think 4 times. See, I don't know. I don't know what it was about this, but yeah. But I got it. And the fact that the top of it isn't quite right, that's okay because I'm going to cut that. But I just take my bone folder and go ahead and burnish that just a little bit to make sure that it's stuck down quite well. And one of my favorite trimmers is this little Fiskars guillotine trimmer, and as long as the papers aren't big, that is my go-to trimmer to use. In fact, I need a new big trimmer. Yeah, I don't know. I have to find one that is not expensive but is good. So if you know of one, let me know. Helen, I think that you mentioned a trimmer on your channel. So Helen is from Moss Cottage here on YouTube, and I just don't remember what it was called. So I went through the papers again, and yeah, so I'm going to end up using the side of this paper with the flowers on it. It's absolutely gorgeous paper. I mean, this paper itself, just the style of it is awesome. I like it for a few reasons. One reason would be that it's It's fairly thick. It's not extremely thick, but it's thick, thicker than some scrapbook paper. And I love the very grungy colors of the paper. Um, and I like that it's double-sided. So I didn't really, well, I did. I was going to say I didn't benefit from it being double-sided on this project, but I did because instead of having two patterns to choose from, I had four, right? Just on the two pieces of paper. So, yeah, I don't know. Does K& Company still make products? I think they stopped. Although I'm sure you can probably find some somewhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that. So what I'm doing is I am making pockets. And you would never know that this was a piece of junk mail. Now, what I could have done is, and I still might do it, is where it's very white, I could, take a little bit of the ink and, just put a little bit there to tone that down a little bit. Or I could have taken little pieces of the scrapbook paper and glued them in there so that it wasn't so white. But to be honest, with the tags in it, because I end up making two tags for this, with the tags in it, you don't even see those holes. You don't see that white. So I don't know that I really need to do it. But so again, this ribbon is from 2009. And my granddaughter was recently born, and I was just really getting into card making. And I bought my first, and only Cricut. That's how old my Cricut is. I don't use it. It's in my basement, but I do have it and the cartridges. But it's a little one. It's a little one. It's not the big one. And so I had purchased that ribbon, and it has wire in it. So, you saw me bending it a little bit, and that's because it has wire. And so I've had that for a long time. So I figure I'll use it, right? It's fall right now, right? Well, almost. It's not quite fall, actually, right? What is that, September 20th, I think is fall. And today's September 12th, so not quite. But I figure I might as well use it. And what's weird is in the end, you can see a little bit of it, but not the whole thing. And that's okay. So now I'm going to work on the tags. So what I use is I have this like manila paper that I bought from Michael's. And right here, I was measuring it. So it was 6 inches. So I cut it down to 6 inches by 4 inches. And I took another piece of the, that scrapbook paper, and I'm going to use that. You guys know how it is when you have a pad of scrapbook paper. It really all goes together. It really does, right? So I went with this lighter color. So today is Sunday when I'm doing this video, and I just had last week off, and I made a lot of videos. I hope I didn't drive you guys nuts, but I made a lot of videos. I enjoyed every second of it. And but you know what? Come today, I'm a little bit tired. So I'm dragging just a little bit today, but I did go visit my parents in assisted living. It's about 8 miles from my house, and I brought my granddaughter with me, and so they were super happy to see Madison. And they always, because it can go 2 months and they don't see her. So when she's here, and she'll pretty much always come with me, when I go up there if she's here. So that was nice. Oh, and I just want to mention again, these are the Shabby Dabbydoodah digitals. They were actually free a couple weeks ago in her Facebook group. And yeah, so that's what these are. And I made that little double pocket to hold them all over to the left right there. So that's why I just put them all in there, and it's working out quite well. But on the way back from there, we stop at Starbucks and we get, I don't know the name of it. I have it right here. I don't know. It's all abbreviated, but it's it's a cold drink. It has the strawberries in it, and we get it with lemonade added to it. Oh, it's so good. So I've been sipping on that all afternoon. So that doily that I just put down, the reason that there's different colors on it, if I remember correctly, was many years ago I used it as a stencil. And I don't remember, it might have been in a Bible page that I used it as a stencil. Yeah, it was a long, long, long time ago. So it feels good to use up some of this stash. Sorry if you hear that squeaking. That's my parrot. I don't know. Yeah, that's Maui. So I'm looking through some of my quotes that I have because I know I want to put something on here. And I ended up with the one quote that says, "I knew when I met you an adventure was going to happen." And that is by A. Milne. So that's what I ended up putting on that particular tag. And yeah, so what else? What else is going on? I don't know. Work. So I am retiring January 31st of 2022. It's just less than 5 months away. I am retiring, but I know already that they're going to keep me on as a consultant. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. I'll work very, very part-time, because, when you start to collect Social Security, you can only make so much money. Otherwise, it affects the amount of Social Security that you get every month. So, I've done a lot of research, and I think I've got it down pretty well, what I need to do and everything. So I'm excited for that for next year. And, people ask me what I'm going to do, especially my granddaughter. She asks me, she just can't fathom. She can't understand what I'm going to do, without working every day. And I'm like, well, I'm going to craft and I'm going to rest. That's what I'm going to do. But let me tell you, after this past week having off, like I said, I'm exhausted. So I think when I'm going to be retired, that I'm going to be exhausted. But anyways, it's a good exhausted. So the pencil that I'm putting down is called a Stabilo All pencil. And it's obviously water soluble. And I'm just using one of my water brushes to activate it and basically messily smear it around. And, when it dries, like right there, it's like super wet, so it's super duper dark. But when it dries, it's still dark, but it's not that dark. But what I like about it is it just really puts a nice little border around whatever it is, right? In this case, of course, it's the butterflies. And I don't know, when the way this tag came out, I love it. I do. So you'll have to let me know what you think of it. I've been making a lot of tags recently, and I'm just really enjoying it. That little box right there is just, I could just live in that little box. If I could fit in there, that's where I would live. It's like just filled with little yummy pieces of stuff. That would be my home. Um, and yeah, so I pulled out, I don't know, I think it's like it was oh, I know exactly what this was. It was from, oh, what is the name of that company that sells scrapbook stuff? Not Stampin' Up, not Creative Memories. The other one. Close to my heart. And yeah, so I had some rolls of ribbon from them, and I ended up taking them off of the rolls and tea dyeing them, and that's what that is. It worked out perfectly. And then that piece of doily, I have been using so much of the doily that I tea dyed. And, I recently got more doilies. So I'm going to have to do another little tea dyeing section. Because like that right there, do you see that? Like that to me makes me happy. Just where it looks a little rough around the edges, so to speak. Even on the bottom, it's like not even. And I just love it. I love that look. And so I'm just going to basically audition a few things here, and I go with these butterflies. These are also by Shabby Dabbydoodah, and let me tell you, they are the most used digital that I have of hers. These butterflies come in different colors and even different sizes, and I use them very, very, very often. So if you're looking for a fun digital, and they're easy to cut out, right? Because it's like a film strip. So they're just straight lines. Hey, I'm all about that. I can sometimes cut a straight line. But anyway, yeah, so I like those a lot. So I like that. I am happy with that. And what? Oh yes. So now I'm back in my happy box. I'll call that my happy box. And I'm putting some tulle in here. And if you've ever purchased anything from By the Well for God, you will recognize that. But it's the perfect color, because if you see that tulle on that tag with that, the digital's like the same color. So now you're going to see me. I'm going to try putting these tags in different pockets. I actually have 3 pockets, but I only end up using 2 of them. So this was the original way I wanted it. And then I'm like, no, I don't know. I took it out and, well, first of all, I wanted to make sure it was all dry. I can't go sticking something that has wet glue on it in a pocket because I'll never get it out again. But I'm like, you know what? It just wasn't right. There was something wrong. So you'll see me just trying a few different things. And I really liked that one up there. And then I tried that, didn't like that. And then this is what I ended up with. I liked it because you can see the digitals. You can see the most on the tags this way. So I was really happy with that. And that's it. So I'm just going to share with you real quick here. And there's a couple photos coming up in a second here. And, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos, geared around my junk journal and how I complete the pages for it, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. You're all a blessing to me, and I appreciate you all. Have a wonderfully blessed week. All right, bye-bye, everybody.